If you're a man over 60 and waking up more than once a night to pee, this might be your early warning sign. Not just of prostate issues, but something much bigger and much more dangerous. Could one simple food help ease those nightly trips to the bathroom and actually shrink prostate swelling? There's one food that's been quietly studied by urologists for years. It doesn't just ease inflammation, it may help reduce the size of an enlarged prostate. But barely anyone's talking about it. By age 60, over half of all men have prostate enlargement. That number jumps even higher by age 70. Most don't know what's actually driving it, let alone how to slow it down. And here's what's even scarier. Ignoring prostate inflammation may not seem urgent, but over time, it could lead to permanent bladder damage, urinary infections, or even raise the risk for prostate cancer. But that's not all. A swollen prostate doesn't just affect the way you pee. It's also tied to testosterone levels, to blood flow, to energy, even to bedroom performance. Erections may become harder to maintain. Recovery from sleep feels slower, and aging starts to feel like a one-way slide. Most men just brush it off as getting older. But it's not just aging. It's your body trying to whisper, "Help me." Now, here's where things get interesting. In a quiet European study, one everyday food, something most of us have in the pantry, showed surprising results in older men. The researchers thought it was a fluke. But when they looked at the MRI scans, they couldn't believe the shrinkage in prostate volume. What food did this? And how does it work? I'll explain in just a moment. But first, let's understand what's really going on below the belt and why it matters more than ever after 60. As men age, something sneaky happens inside the body. Your testosterone, the hormone that fuels muscle, drive, and vitality, starts converting more into a hard-hitting cousin called DHT. Now, DHT isn't some evil chemical. It actually helps form facial hair and deeper voices during puberty. But after 60, too much DHT starts stacking up in one place, the prostate. Think of your prostate like a sponge. DHT starts soaking in, inflaming, and swelling that sponge. And as it swells, it begins pressing against your bladder. That's why you feel the need to pee even when there's barely anything in your tank. A 2018 clinical journal found that elevated DHT levels were strongly linked to prostate swelling in older men, even in those with normal testosterone. Here's the twist, though. Your daily habits, seemingly harmless ones, can fan the flames of that inflammation. Let me tell you a quick story. One of my patients, a retired firefighter in his late 60s, came in frustrated. He was waking up 5 or 6 times a night to urinate, tired all the time, feeling less like himself. He just chalked it up to aging. But after digging into his routine, something stood out. Every evening, like clockwork, ice-cold beer, and a dinner of takeout pizza loaded with pepperoni, cheese, and fried crust. Tastes great, right? But beer and processed meats are inflammation bombs. Add in cheese and barely any vegetables? That's the perfect storm to irritate the prostate. When we swapped just a few meals, cut back on alcohol, and added one simple plant-based food, his symptoms started easing up within weeks. Because here's what many men don't realize: there are silent saboteurs in your diet. Foods that seem harmless, but may quietly inflame your prostate over time. And the big ones? Saturated fats from red meats, full-fat dairy, fried fast food. One large study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that men eating the most animal fat had a significantly higher risk of prostate enlargement. Why? Because these fats may spike inflammation. They also disrupt healthy hormone balance, and that pushes the body further out of sync. But here's the hopeful part. Just as food can fuel inflammation, it can also calm it. Let's look at something often overlooked: plant-based omega-3s, especially from seeds. You've probably heard of fish oil for heart and brain health. But certain seeds, flaxseed, chia, contain a special kind of plant-based omega-3 called ALA. In several bite-sized studies, ground flaxseed was shown to lower DHT levels naturally. No drugs, no side effects. And in some men, their prostate size actually decreased. Ted, a 63-year-old engineer, refused to start medication that could impact intimacy. So he tried adding ground flax to his morning yogurt. Simple, After 2 months, his overnight bathroom trips went from 4 down to 2. And get this, he didn't cut anything else out. That's the power of one small shift when it targets the right system. But nutrients don't work in isolation. One mineral plays a massive role in prostate health, and most older men are low on it. That mineral is zinc. Zinc helps regulate male hormones and keeps inflammation under control. But as we age, our ability to absorb zinc drops, and many common medications deplete it further. Thankfully, you don't need supplements right away. You can find zinc in simple foods: pumpkin seeds, lentils, chickpeas. And then there are cruciferous veggies like broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. These aren't just grains for show. They contain compounds that help detox excess estrogen byproducts, which may also contribute to prostate swelling. Think of it like clearing out the static so your hormone signals stay sharp. And as you eat more of these whole, natural foods, you're giving your body tools to naturally defend itself. Now, here's where it gets truly powerful. Because all of these small improvements, less DHT, more zinc, anti-inflammatory seeds and vegetables, begin shifting momentum inside your body. Closer to balance. Closer to how it was designed to function. And remember that food I mentioned earlier? That common item studied in Europe? We'll reveal exactly what it is and how to eat it for maximum benefit. But first, think about this. If one change can help reduce prostate-related urination, what could 2 or 3 do? How could your days and especially your nights begin to change? Because here's the truth. This isn't about avoiding one more symptom. It's about taking back your rhythm, your energy, your rest, and staying in control of how you age, not just hoping for the best. Coming up, I'll share the food shown in studies to reduce inflammation and support a more normal-sized prostate, plus the best forms to eat it in. And it's probably already in your pantry. That food is tomatoes. Yes, simple, everyday tomatoes. But not just any kind specifically cooked tomatoes, like in tomato paste or sauces. Why? Because they're packed with a powerful nutrient called lycopene. Lycopene is what gives tomatoes their red color. But it does so much more. Several studies, including research published in the Journal of Nutrition, suggest lycopene may help reduce prostate inflammation and even slow down prostate growth. One clinical trial had older men take lycopene supplements over several months. Many experienced fewer nighttime trips to the bathroom. Others saw improved urine flow, and a few even showed signs of reduced prostate volume on follow-up scans. Here's something most people don't know. Lycopene becomes more effective when tomatoes are cooked. That means ketchup doesn't count, but pasta sauce, tomato soup, and tomato paste? Excellent sources. And here's the kicker: the men in these studies didn't make massive lifestyle changes. They just added in lycopene consistently. That's the key. Consistency over extremes. Now, does tomato sauce magically fix everything? No. But when combined with the other strategies like zinc-rich seeds, cruciferous veggies, and cutting back on inflammatory foods, it becomes part of a powerful shift. A shift away from helpless aging and toward proactive renewal. I remember one man, Carl's 71 years old. He told me, "I just want to sleep through the night again without clock watching at 2 a.m. We looked at his diet, his habits, and gently nudged a few things. He loved pasta, so we encouraged homemade marinara with extra garlic and olive oil. He added a couple spoonfuls of ground flax in the mornings. Swapped fried lunch meats with lentil stew a few times a week. It didn't take long. In 6 weeks, he wasn't just sleeping better, he felt sharper in the morning, more motivated to move, and even said intimacy was easier again." Now think about that for a second. This wasn't about magic pills or expensive treatments. It was a fork, a spoon, grocery staples, the kind of medicine you can eat, because your body wants to heal. That's what it's built to do. Sometimes it just needs the right support. And science continues to back this up. Italian researchers found that men who naturally consumed higher levels of lycopene, mostly from cooked tomatoes, had a lower risk of prostate enlargement and better urinary health. Even more interesting, some data suggest that lycopene may protect the prostate on a cellular level, helping calm stress signals before they trigger swelling. So if you're wondering where to start tomorrow, this could be it. A warm bowl of tomato-based soup. A veggie stir fry with lentils and garlic. Maybe oatmeal with flax and berries. You're not trying to overhaul your life overnight. You're trying to shift the momentum. That's how real change works. Not by climbing a mountain in one day, but by walking a few steps every day in a better direction. Now, let's be real. You're still going to have the occasional steak, maybe a beer with friends. And that's okay. This isn't about perfection. It's about tipping the scale consistently toward healing. And those little nudges add up. Less DHT, less inflammation, better hormone balance. That means better sleep, fewer interruptions, more ownership of your day, more control over your aging process instead of feeling like a passenger. And if that sounds like something you want, it starts with one idea. Just one meal can be medicine or fuel the fire. One snack, one choice. Over time, it's not just your prostate that notices, it's your mood, your strength, your confidence. Now, before we wrap up, let me leave you with this. What if these small steps, a spoonful of flax, a bowl of tomato soup, a handful of pumpkin seeds, were your first signals back to balance? What if feeling better didn't take 6 pills a day, but started with your plate? Because here's what most men over 60 never hear. It's not too late. Your body is still listening. And if you tune in even just a little, it may start responding faster than you think. In the next video, we'll go even deeper. There's another nutrient, one that works alongside lycopene, that's been called the guardian of male aging. And when paired with simple food strategies, it may do even more to support your prostate, your energy, and yes, even your bedroom performance. So be sure to subscribe and keep watching, because the next step could be the one that changes everything. You just have to stay in the conversation. Take what you've learned today and try one change this week. Just one. Your body will notice. And odds are you will too.